Yo, what's going on, guys? Snooze Man back here with another YouTube video, and today we're actually talking about the best sliders and settings to use here in Madden 21 franchise mode. Now I'm going to go into settings first and talk about that, but I have done a few of these videos prior to this one as of today. I kind of want to keep this as a monthly thing and update you guys on the newer settings and sliders that I'm using in my franchises. But we're going to go ahead and go into settings here and go into league settings. Now, this one I only changed up a few different things here, but a lot of this depends on still what type of things that you guys prefer. But this is the stuff that I'm rolling with right now. I still keep it on all pro, just a touch before all Madden. We have that on simulation. I try to keep it in the border between simulation and realistic. I really don't lead on either side. I kind of keep in the middle where I can have as much fun as I can. Um, Trade deadline is off. I love to be able to maneuver the trade system at any point in time I would like. Salary cap is on. Again, more realistic. Injury is off. Pre-existing injury I usually have off, but I didn't change that, and it won't let me for some reason at this point. Um, what else did I really turn off? A lot of this stuff is the same, and I turned off. So development trait regression, I talked about a video just talking about this prior to this video. So older players that are hitting 30 and up that are regressing, they're going to lose their development and not really become valuable at all in terms of any assets. But if we turn this off, that means that we can keep their development, at least get something for them, or they can play still at a decent level. They can, still keep their X factor, superstar abilities, stuff like that. I still feel like that's a cool thing to have in this game where you can turn that off. And other than that, the last thing out of all these, again, not that much I touched up on here, but tutorial pop-ups I turned off. These are very annoying where the voices talk over you. I also did a video on this prior, um, and that can get very annoying whether it's telling you, you got a diamond in the rough in the draft, or just talking over your contract signings and stuff like that. So that's what we have working with on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into sliders. Now we have XP sliders and gameplay sliders. So we're going to go ahead and go into XP sliders. I'm always constantly changing these. There's never really a rate to where I just kind of keep them the same. Um, but this is the ones that I have rolling with. I don't really worry about kickers and punters as much, but this is what I'm rolling with offense and defensive wise for XP percentage points here. Now, quarterbacks for me, I actually have two really good sim quarterbacks in Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles. I know not a lot of people would hold me to that, but you test them out in any franchise, they are very good. They put up massive numbers, so I'm not really leaning towards them getting 100 or over. I don't think I need that, so I actually lower that by 10. I don't think that's very necessary for me having two very good sim quarterbacks, but it depends on what you guys are going for. I play a lot of sim. I like building and doing sim, so that's what I'm going with for that. Again, for the rest of the offense here, to break it down, halfbacks at 130, I find it kind of rough to, in terms of development and overall, both factors, it's very hard to get up for running backs. So I feel like increasing this by 30 is just right for running backs for me right now. Tight ends, I increased by 5 only because tight ends are kind of hard for me. Um, the way I do things on my offensive side of the ball. And they don't really, tight ends are still kind of hard to progress, so we're going to keep that there. Receivers by 10. I still feel like younger guys that are in the slot maybe, or even in the depth, could use this to their advantage. Nothing to really worry about fullbacks. Offensive linemen, I feel like I increased by 50. Offensive linemen are actually the most slept on out of here. That's why I have them at the highest XP points here. And we have to keep this as an asset that we look at, because this is what protects you from everything. This will help your receivers, your quarterbacks, and your running backs develop through everything. Skill points, development, um, and overall. So make sure you guys at least boost this by like 10 or more at least. I increased this by 50 because I love my offense alignment and what they have to offer for other positions. Defensive side of the ball, we have on the defensive tackles and DNs kind of in the same mixture. I increased that by 10 to 15 points. These are guys that are really hard to get up. The best defensive playbook, I think, is the Baltimore Ravens. I feel like if you have good guys there and to go with this, that'll do a lot better for guys that, at least at these positions, that are hard to get up. Middle linebackers, I kept the same. You actually see a lot of development ups in this position and overall as well. You can also take a strong safety and move more to middle linebacker, which is why I have strong safeties at 105, because I like taking my strong safety, if you have a good one, and move them to middle linebacker. And that actually will give the strong safety a dev up and even overall. And then you take the lower overall strong safety and boost them up there with the 105 that I put them on. I only gave that +5. Free safeties, I kind of lower that. Free safeties are kind of juice. I feel like they get a lot of XP if they play well and they like to play the ball. They get a lot of interceptions usually. Again, depends on what type of scheme you run and players you have there. But that's how I feel about that position. And secondary for cornerbacks here, I raised that because outside of cornerback 1, it's really hard to progress guys that are really young unless they're like superstar X Factor guys. It could be even still a little harder to do for younger guys, even with star dev and stuff like that. Outside linebackers here we have at 110. These are guys that you can't even put at DN to middle linebacker. They're pretty versatile. Versatility-wise, they're very good, very versatile players. But I feel like +10 will give this a lot of overall and dev ups at a position that's really hard to do. And that's pretty much the gist on offensive and defensive XP points there. And then what do we have? We already do gameplay sliders here. We did not, so we have to touch up on this. So this is the last thing that we're going to be covering in today's video. So we have the gameplay league sliders here. Now this is always changing as well, but for me, the player, if you're doing gameplays, quarterback accuracy I lower a little bit. I feel like a lot of these guys put the ball right in the money, and it's an all-pro, so it doesn't really matter as much. Pass blocking, I don't feel like this is going to matter as much, especially because I'm having 150 XP points put in my offensive lineman. Wide receiver catching, even in simulation mode and franchise, it's still insane some of these plays that the animation wise these receivers get. I feel like that's right. Run blocking, I lowered this by a couple. I didn't want to keep it the same. I lowered it a couple. I still want the running back to have a little bit of leeway and to help him out for the future. Fumbles, I increase that. I think there needs to be more fumbles in gameplays for sure. Pass defensive reaction time, I increase that, but I lower the interception, so I kind of balance that out. Pass coverage at 55, 45 tackling kept. I gave +5 to the QB accuracy. Pass blocking 40, which is the same here. Wide receiver catching 55. I gave them a little bit of a boost to go with that, so their offense is going to be a little better. But run blocking at 50, a little better still. Fumbles is at 70 though. They have a +5, so we're going to get more fumbles. Pass defensive reaction time, we have more defensive reaction time. We're going to get more picks. Pass coverage we're also better at, and we're the same at tackling. I feel like that is fair, because you have to include the hit sticks that come into play as well, so that can get a little crazy, and I don't really do too much past that. I kind of keep all of these at the same, guys. But that's pretty much it in terms of sliders and settings, but that's what I'm running at as of right now. But let me know what you guys are running at, or any future tip videos you guys would like to see. But that will be it for today's video. We are trying to hit 240 subs. We are only 8 away from that. Again, guys, thank you guys for all the support you guys have given me on this channel. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.